All right, guys, here we are to talk about The Twilight Zone, Episode 11, Season 1, as it appears on Netflix.
Yeah, buddy.
And what'd you think about this episode?
I like this episode.
All right.
You hated this episode?
Can't recall it at all. What happens in this episode?
Oh, well, this is some vintage T-Zone, if you will.
I will.
Having some paper problems here. So, I did not remember this one. This is 3 astronauts go to space or the moon or something
yes,
like
this is
that.
a good one.
Okay, good. I was going to say, because when I was like, I liked it, and you're like, oh, yeah? I thought you were like, oh, no.
Nope.
You didn't like this one.
Usually I watch everything we talk about like the day before.
Minutes before
but
we
I
start
watched these
filming.
like last week, so I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
No, this episode was really good, and it's legitimately creepy, and the idea of this happening
like
to
it a
me
lot.
is horrifying.
Yep.
Especially being blinked out of existence at the end. Like,
Well, so being blinked out of existence is not even that horrifying for me in the grand scheme of things. I don't like it or whatever. But this episode, okay, so I started saying there were 3 astronauts, right?
yes.
But when the show starts, there were 2 astronauts.
Yes.
But one of the 2 guys thinks that there were 3, and
Correct.
there's like a disagreement.
And it paints a really cool picture about how it all happened.
This episode did a fucking great job of something that not a lot of these episodes have done, and not a lot of these episodes like do or like whatever, right?
And what's that?
Well, I was about to say it, but now you've thrown me off by asking what's that. So like sometimes something creepy or bad happens to one character, right?
Mhm.
And you can be like, oh, what if that happened to me? Oh no, or something like that, right? And sometimes it's like the opposite. Something's happening, and you're kind of following the character who's watching, like the other thing happen or whatever, right? In this, though, you got to do both, because at first you were following the guy who was stark raving mad, and then you got to take the journey and like watch as like the third, I guess, guy. First is already gone. Second's the main guy. Third is that guy.
Becomes the only.
So then it like transfers to him. So his like terror and like craziness or like whatever, because he's been in the same position as the audience. He's been like, you're crazy. What are you talking about? Oh my God! Big flashback that he doesn't get to see, but still, he's like, this guy is saying there was a third guy. I don't know. But then it's all proven to him, and then he knows then that like he's next or whatever. It's like a horror movie about like a curse or like a weird thing like that, right? When you come in like the middle, right? And there's a crazy person, and then you're like, come on, dude, what the fuck? But then you follow the dude who was,
I would have liked to have picked up, like, from the very beginning. I'd like to see them go into space. I'd like to know exactly what happened that caused this.
I know.
So I can avoid it.
Like the plague. So they don't have money for that. So for like a while in the episode, I was kind of worried, because some of these episodes are ostensibly about a thing that happened like off camera or like isn't really part of the episode or whatever. But the meat of this episode was that, spiraling out of control, this lunacy and like paranoia and questioning what is real and what's going on or whatever. And then that beautiful switch to then now this guy can see it coming in like a different way than the first guy did.
I was staring at the photos because I was like, do they Photoshop these or do they take 3 pictures? Because that wouldn't have been that easy then. And they're different pictures.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But I was staring at it because I'm like, oh, they're going to show it again. Look at his face. Okay, it's different.
Yeah, they probably made them totally different because it would be too, like, janky. Like, okay, Bob, now you move. Okay, good. And now, like, it would be, like, you would notice if it was, like, slightly shittier. But if it's a whole different picture, like, well, it's a whole different picture, whatever.
Exactly.
No, I kind of love shit like this. This shit's fucking awesome.
This was a great episode.
It reminded me of like a John dies at the end type of thing.
Sure.
There are some like direct comparisons. You've probably not read this, but go find this on the internet somewhere.
David Wong's
David Wong.
John dies at the end.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome because there was stuff in there that was kind of like this. I mean, directly like when they kill you, they kill you forever and for always. Like they kill you in the past and the future and everything. I was like, holy shit, what does that mean? And it kind of means this, right? But like. The only issue here I thought was that like the second guy can like remember the first guy, presumably because they were all part of the same like weird event that the like non-described like event. But then by those same rules, why can't the third guy remember the other guys?
I don't know.
Well, actually no.
And I thought
he can still remember the second guy, but he can't remember the first guy.
Yeah,
that's super weird.
What I thought
when
the second guy first had the flashback, I was like, oh, he broke the wall. The first guy is remembering it, but it wasn't that.
Oh, okay. You thought it
That's
was like
how I took it.
Yeah. Ah, yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly that way, but that I think would have been equally as good.
It's an extended, weird sort of flashback to have in there, or something like that.
Sure.
That main guy was doing some good work. Like he came off crazy to the point of being silly, but I thought that worked or whatever.
No, it all played for me.
Yeah.
I like when he goes, he must still be at the bar, and like smashes his way into a bar.
When I fucking, I was sort of deliriously tired at that point, but I fucking lost it because he's just in front of the window like, Harrington, come on, Eddie, oh come on, and then just it like cuts to a shot of him like just walking through. It's just like, oh man, and then it cuts to, like a side angle. He's just like smashing through like the Kool-Aid Man or whatever. It was a crazy moment in like the whole thing.
He insults the bartender. I can't remember what word he used.
Oh god.
But he said something like, "Listen, Hambone, where's my friend's drink?"
Yeah.
He didn't come in here with anybody.
No, it's great. Like they could have okay, a lot of these episodes are so fucking old, right? And I'm sure they're never like exactly the first to do it or something like that. But this sort of thing has been done like so much, right?
Of course.
So like you can like there's better ways and people over the years have like refined it a lot where like people can act differently about your craziness or whatever. Here it was very like light and awkward, and he's like
well, he's an eccentric hero. He just came back from space. I think it's kind of like the what did you do to piss off Mr. Sinatra, like that kind of mentality.
But they could have like played that up even too. It was sort of like a shallow aspect of it, because everyone like if this were made like today, people would be like, you have to go in for like a checkup, you have space madness or whatever the fuck, there'd be all these things happening or whatever.
When he the first guy just disappears, is like oh, I just need a drink. Oh, I feel as though I just might not exist at all. Like that was a weird thing for me. I'm like, why'd you spell that out?
Well, yeah, because that's what I mean. These are so old that like they have to be, I think that
they have to be on the nose, or else people will be like, wait, where did he go? Did he leave the room? Like,
right. Did he fart so hard that he's just gone? Who's on the other end of the phone?
You never know.
No, like the only line in there that I liked was like, and again, if this were made today, even if it were a TV show, there'd be like more than one night. There'd be like dudes like sleeping and waking up and on the phone and being like, I just don't feel, I don't know, like, There's a scene in like towards the end of Primer. There's this great scene where the one guy is talking to the other. Primer, time travel movie, one of the only awesome, too high tech for me even. But there's this great thing where like they can't write as good anymore or something like that because they've been doing all this weird nested crazy time travel shit. And the one guy's talking to the other about it, and he's like, I can like see it in my head, but like I just can't like make the letters, or something. It's this weird where they like go into this weird shit that's sort of like,
Sure.
I feel like if I just didn't like hold on or something like that, I would just slip away. I would just be like gone or whatever.
I like that he calls his parents and he's like, oh, I never had a son. My father came on and he told me to hang up or he's gonna call the cops.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That would be super fucked up because at that point, what do you do? And like,
what do you do?
Even his buddy's like, oh, it's some kind of gag, but you can tell like he doesn't like believe that. That's like, wait, no, something's crazy. Something's obviously crazy here. I wonder what would have happened if he had called them. Well, I mean, they would have said the same thing, but still.
Yeah.
Like, could they only not remember the one guy at a time? Because then shouldn't they remember his like friend in the army or whatever? Right? There's a whole.
I don't know.
The rules to these sort of things
almost every
go
Twilight
crazy.
Zone, has no real rules, but they're entertaining. So
No. It's totally. Once you start drilling down into any of this stuff, literally any of it, you start to be like, but wait, if those are the rules, then how does this work? But no, this is a solid episode. I'm gonna give this a thumb up.
Oh no, this is one of the better episodes by far.
Yeah.
I love a good mind fuck.
Good, yeah. I was gonna say, so like a bunch of these don't even have the mind fuck moment, but this had like two basically. Yeah. Where you get like more bang for your buck.
It's filmed well. It's a nice whole. It takes you on the journey. It paints you a word picture.
And this is the kind of thing that would like stick with people. Imagine being like a kid. This is the first time you ever seen anything like this, right?
Yeah.
And then you grow up to make one of these other fucked up weird movies about one of these fucked up weird things. So, anything else to think about or talk about that happened in the episode?
This is pretty straightforward of an episode. Of course it gets the thumbs up approval.
I usually write down a bunch of quotes or whatever. He screams, I don't want this to happen. And when he's like, you're crazy, and does all that stuff, I want to like save it and make a gif of it or whatever the fuck. There's a lot of good moments, a lot of good tight weird shit of him happening. When he like backs up on his like porch and then just hops over like the little wall and like scampers away all weird.
Yeah.
Like he was nuts. It was great. It was great.
That was great.
I would have liked a little more paranoia, maybe. Like you're all in on it or something.
You only had 22
they
minutes.
touched on it. I know.
That even, it's very. It's that's the thing with these. Some of them, it's like too short. Where I'm like, oh, I wish there was more things happening here, which is great though, because if it were more, I might be like, they went too far. They crammed too much in. It sucked. Blah blah.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect little.
Or
taste.
you made like bad choices later on as you got more detailed or whatever. No, they are. Twilight Zone sits there, I think, as like they're almost like little fables or parables or something like that.
Exactly.
From which you can extrapolate all these modern, like fleshed out, like deeper things or something like that.
It's not always like a proverb where it teaches you something. Sometimes they do.
No. I just mean like the way that those older stories were just very ba ba ba. This is just ba ba ba, and then you get to ruminate on it and fill your head with all these ideas that later grow into some weird horror movie about a curse that follows you if you don't do a thing.
It's called Gremlin.
It's called Gremlin.
But yeah, that was the Twilight Zone Season 1, Episode 11.
I wish we knew the episode titles. I wish they posted those.
Oh, I post them. Whenever I post these up, I post them with their title.
Perfect. All right. We should start knowing them.
I don't know off the top of my head.
We should start knowing them. They're not on the screen, so
no, they're not.
I guess we could get it.
I get them off IMDb.
Until
next time, guys, don't die in a fire, and we'll see you then.